I'm so obsessed with this shirt. Do all trans people think the same? No. Do the trans people you see constantly on TV, on the news, represent all transsexuals? Hell no. I would say 99% of all trans activists are not real transsexuals. The reason why I say this is because most transsexuals just want to live a normal life. Our intention is not to change society. We want to be a part of society. We don't want to medically transition children. We're not against female-only spaces. We don't want men to be in women's sports. We do not want to change the definition of man and woman. We're literally the last people on Earth who want to do that. Why would someone who transitions from A to B change the definition of B, of what they're transitioning to? Let me put it this way, real transsexuals transition due to the original definitions of man and woman. And that's why I know that most trans activists are not trans. They do not deal with gender dysphoria. The mental disorder gender dysphoria, which describes the extreme gender-related discomfort a transsexual has, only knows the real and original definitions of man and woman. I know many people are wondering, why are the wrong people representing the trans community? Why is it so uncommon to hear real transsexuals who are rational? Trans activists have hijacked the trans community. So now it's hard for rational transsexuals to speak up because they feel like they're the black sheep of the community, even though they represent, opinion-wise, the majority of all transsexuals. And it can be difficult at times to feel like you're alone in all of this, to receive so much hate from people who were supposed to support you. Rational transsexuals like me, Blair White, Buck Angel, Sarah Higdon, we all had to create our own thing. Just in general, it's always easier to be a part of something, of a thing that has already been created. It's way more difficult to create your own space, your own thing so you can be a part of it. But here I am, here we are, and I'm so effing happy. Today I want to highlight a rational trans woman who has a lot to say, and I think you will all enjoy it.
I have decided to stop calling women cis women. I'm taking all of your comments into consideration because honestly, now that I think about it, it truly doesn't make sense. Women are women, trans women are trans. I feel like I just got used to that term, adopted that terminology because people around me, use it a lot, including women. But the truth is that a woman is a woman, and I can see how a woman can be frustrated by having people call them cis.
Amen. For all the people who say trans women are women, do you have a problem with trans women? Most would respond no, but why get offended when someone says trans women are trans women? What's wrong with being trans? Why do trans women need to be the same as women? What's wrong with being different? I might be young, but I thought that the message within the LGBT community has always been about we're different, but that's okay. Unfortunately, the message today is we're the same as you, the exact same as you, therefore we have to be in your spaces too. And that's demented. I personally don't care that I'm not the same as a real man. I don't need to be in order to be okay, in order to have great mental health and live a great life. The more I believe in that trans women are women, trans men are men, the worse I feel mentally. Because it's not that hard to understand that it's not true. We might be trans, but we're not idiots. There's no reason for trans people to lie to themselves and lie to others about what they are. Because it's okay for us to be what we are. It's okay that I'm a woman, but I want to live my life as a man. No one got hurt. It's not always the case. Some people detransition and kids transition, that's horrible. But let's talk about those things another day. Not calling women cis women is of course not just about trans people refusing to acknowledge reality. The problem is not that trans people are insecure about themselves. This is mostly about respect. Trans activists do not respect women. According to trans ideology, cis is a descriptor, and in this case it describes what type of woman we're talking about. Are we talking about a woman with a penis or a woman without a penis? The narrative is trans women are just a different type of woman. But it's not true. Trans women are men. They're biological males with gender dysphoria. And then we have trans activists who don't deal with gender dysphoria, but no matter what, they're men. Men. I would never call men and women cis. It's stupid and so effing unnecessary.
They're not cis, they are women. And we are trans women, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like, it doesn't take away anything from us, We shouldn't want to take anything away from a woman. So let woman be woman, and let trans woman be trans woman, because that's what we are.
Yes, and why is that so hard? It's almost like trans activists have very specific goals, and they have nothing to do with acceptance, equality, and happiness.
Women are women and trans women are trans women. Like,
So you don't think that trans women are women?
no, well, I think that we're trans women. I went from point A to point B. Like, it's not that hard to understand.
Right, that's the definition of trans. You go from A to B. That's it. Or you go to wanting to be B, I guess.
The irony of calling me a pick me because I share my opinion as a trans person, as a person who has put in the work, not the lazy transitioners on this platform, because people don't believe in putting in work. People don't believe in actually earning, you know what I mean, their position in this world anymore. What's the point of being trans if you're not transitioning from point A to point B?
I love she called trans activists lazy. Because they are. We now see women with blue hair and septum piercings claim they're trans men the same way that I'm a trans man. They believe that the huge septum piercing is a part of their transition the same way that me being on testosterone is a part of my transition. That's not how it works. And they're ugly as hell. I said it. Please don't do it. If you asked me 7 years ago, I wouldn't have a problem with septum piercings. But today I find them repulsive. I'm sorry. It's just my opinion. I do this for a living, you know, so I only associate septum piercings with disgusting radical activists. A lot of these activists act like spoiled brats. Not only did they hijack the community, they also hijacked the trans label, definition even. That's why I call myself a transsexual. I'm reclaiming the old-fashioned word because transgender nowadays means absolutely nothing. Everyone can be trans, transgender. I'm not down with that. I always like to accuse people who fake being trans of cultural appropriation, because it is. They're appropriating the trans experience.
Oh, you're just trans because you feel it, because you have a feeling and you're not acting out on that feeling. That doesn't make sense to me. There are people that really put in the work so that they can be respected and addressed as such and to live their lives fruitfully and comfortably. But a lot of y'all just do it as a trend. A lot of y'all just do it as a fad. And for those on this platform that have put in the work and want to call me a panderer, no, you're pandering, sis.
Cis, literally.
You're pandering, bro, because you just want likes, you want follows, you want the queer vote, you want the queer platform, you want the support that you get from the LGBTQIA plus community. But the truth is that a lot of people calling themselves trans and they're not really trans. And that's not making me a shitty ass human being by voicing my opinion about that.
Why would someone be a terrible person for saying you don't deal with this certain mental disorder? I deal with it myself, and I can tell you, you don't deal with it. Just like there's nothing wrong with being a transsexual, there's nothing wrong with not being a transsexual. There's nothing wrong with being goth, punk, androgynous. But the reason why some get pissed off whenever they hear this take is because they know themselves that they're frauds, that they're liars. For the last few years, trans activists have, as I said, been the face of the trans community. They have been the loud minority. But now transsexuals are fed up, and the activists, the frauds, are scared. They're scared of being exposed. And most importantly, they're scared of losing their power. Because if the only reason why they have just a little bit power here and there is because they claim to be this certain thing, and then the people who are actually this certain thing speak up and say, no, you're not, then they're really screwed. You can be the sweetest person in the world, talk about this topic in the nicest way possible, and some would still try to cancel you. Just like this trans woman, I always try to speak the truth. I know I can be a sassy bitch, and this trans woman is also a bit sassy. However, I have received messages where people said that they didn't transition, they didn't go through the medical transition, because they found my channel, they saw my videos, and they realized that they're not trans. That's so amazing, and I always get extremely emotional when I read those messages.
This cult-like mentality that everybody needs to be in one accord and think the same in the community, but then yet you calling me a pick-me? No, y'all a bunch of pick-me's. Y'all don't have a mind of your own. I'm sorry. If you don't have gender dysphoria, you're not trans. And y'all could be mad about it. That's how I feel.
She's gorgeous, by the way. I have never felt the need to be a part of any community. Why assume I would be friends with trans people just because they're trans? You shared the same experience. You have both been through the same. Have we, though? I can't relate to a 19-year-old girl who wants to be referred to as a clown self, who will never want to go on testosterone, who will never get top surgery. Even if she did get top surgery, first of all, she would get everything removed, like her nipples too, which is so weird. And second of all, she would still not be on testosterone. And on top of that, she probably identifies as gender fluid. I can't relate to that. But even if I meet a real transsexual, we're both on testosterone, got top surgery, the hysterectomy, we most likely have total different personalities. Although I'm not a part of a community, I do have trans friends, and we're friends because we agree on the trans topic. And if we didn't agree on that topic, I probably wouldn't be friends with them. Who knows? A huge shout out to Morgan. Go check her out and send her some love. Thank you all for watching. If you want to see more content like this, remember to hit subscribe and the notification bell. If you want to support me and my channel, you can become a member, or I have my PayPal link in the description down below. Follow me on social media. I love you and I cannot wait to see you in the comments. Peace out.